Today, we're going to talk about a common online issue that affects a lot of people: fake update scams. Our goal here is simple: to help you stay aware, stay calm, and stay safe. Okay, so let's get right into it. Have you ever been browsing a website and then all of a sudden a message just like this one pops up? And you know that feeling, right? That sense of urgency? Well, that feeling is completely intentional. It's designed to make you act fast without really thinking. And that feeling of urgency, that's the whole trick. It's what we can call the pop-up trap. It looks like a simple, helpful message, but it's often a hidden risk. These pop-ups are usually traps set by scammers to lead you somewhere you don't want to go, like a page with malware or a phishing site. So how does this whole scam actually work? Well, it's a pretty simple process, but it can have some really serious consequences. Let's just break down the steps a scammer typically takes. This really shows you their playbook. So first, the trap is set. They create a pop-up that looks almost exactly like a real system alert. They're really good at making them look official. Then, if you tap on it, you get redirected to a fake website that they control. And finally, the download. That's when the fake site tries to get you to install malicious software or grant it sensitive permissions, which is how they get access to your information. So this all leads to a pretty important question. What's the goal here? I mean, what are the scammers really trying to accomplish by tricking you into that download? Well, the consequences can be pretty serious. The software they trick you into installing can do things like steal your personal data, record everything you do, like what you type, install a ton of unwanted ads, and even grab your login details for things like your bank or social media. And these scams work because they target our emotions, playing on that sense of urgency or our trust in what looks like an official warning. And this isn't just a hypothetical problem. This happens in the real world. For instance, back in 2021, a fake update for Chrome managed to trick thousands of Android users. The malicious software it installed just secretly recorded what they were typing, and that's how the scammers were able to steal their login information. Okay, so we've looked at the problem, but now let's shift and focus on the solution. Here's a simple safety checklist with some practical steps you can take to keep your devices protected. All right, these points are really crucial. First, and this is the most important one, never update your device from a pop-up ad or some random website. Second, only use the official settings menu on your phone or in your browser to check for updates. Next, just ignore any pop-ups that are trying to scare you by saying your device is slow or infected. And finally, avoid downloading files from links you get in emails or messages that you don't recognize. And let's be really specific here. To safely check for an update on your phone, you want to go into your settings, then find System, and then Software Update. That is the only place you should be looking for phone updates. And it's the same idea for your web browser. To check for an update, just go to the menu, find the Help section, and then click About. The browser will safely check for updates right there. All of this advice really comes down to one core safety principle. Whenever you see something that feels urgent online, just remember these 3 words: always stop, think, and verify. To make this even easier to remember, let's do a quick side-by-side comparison. It's actually pretty simple to spot the difference between real and fake updates once you know what to look for. So here are the key differences. On one hand, you have real updates. They come from your official settings, they're calm, they're informative, and they are never an emergency. Then you have fake updates. They show up as pop-up ads, they use fear and urgency to pressure you, and they demand that you act right now. See the difference? You control real updates, fake updates try to control you. So, the takeaway here is really straightforward. Real updates don't need to scare you with pop-ups. They always come from trusted sources that you control. If a message ever feels suspicious or it's trying to rush you, just trust that feeling. The goal of this isn't to make you afraid of technology. It's just to help you stay informed and cautious. Awareness really is protection. If you stay alert, you stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and please think about sharing this information with your family. Helping them understand these simple rules can really make all the difference.